Hey everybody, welcome back to the Caves Cast podcast. This week I'm back to being myself.
Yes, I'm back to being myself as well.
Uh, this week we are going to be talking about Marvel's
Blood Hunter,
that
baby.
just finished
Yes, sir.
Blood. Uh, I'm going to be honest, I was kind of on the fence about it. I'm not really a big vampire person. It's
Same,
not really my thing.
same.
Uh, it's very like I think the one vampire thing like recently that I've enjoyed was Lemire and Nguyen, the little monsters.
Oh
From
yeah,
yeah, very well. I mean, it was more of like I follow that creative team more than it was vampires, you know?
right. Well, I think I'm just sick of the vampire events in the big two. Like
Yeah, like the DC like vampires bit is getting kind of old now, you know?
yeah. But luckily, I mean the DC one, like they keep it in their own little universe, so you can
Yeah, that's I
ignore
mean
it.
that's
You can ignore it. Like, this one you
right.
can't really ignore. So, but overall, I enjoyed it. I jumped into it late because I didn't think I would want to read it until I did, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I feel like part of the enjoyment for me with it was that it was the Pepe Larraz art.
Oh, dude,
Most
killed it. Yeah, he was
like that
awesome.
was like far and away my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Here it is. All right. Oh yeah, I have the free comic book deal and everything. Oh, sweet.
Hey.
Um, but yeah, so like it was just cool to see his art, like especially with the red band. I mean, I wasn't all that impressed with it to be honest. It was okay. As far as like the let me put all this shit back and then I'll bust out one of the issues so I can show the red band art off.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I do have a red band issue myself, but I'm choosing not to open it. So.
yeah, see, so I've already done the dirty work. All right.
Oh,
I've already done the dirty work. See, and a lot of people are about to hate me right now.
because you opened it.
Oh, of course, dude. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Like, look, see?
I literally was about to, and I was like, I'm not going to. I'm gonna regret it. I already know I'm gonna regret it.
Like, yeah, like this one. Just yeah. See, I don't even want I can't, it's hard to take out. So I'm like
Yeah.
trying to be because I
It
just put it
it
back.
is nice though. It totally feels like when you hold the comic like that in the poly bag, it feels like totally like a 90s.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm like,
It's really cool. It's okay, so here, red band. All right. There we go. So yeah, I mean the cover, other than the red band thing, it's literally the same, you know.
yeah.
But
Well,
the
wait. Your
pages,
red band, because your red band has like Blade with a face making a face, and the normal.
oh, it is different.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let me see the banner at the top. Oh, look, it's bloody at the top.
Oh wow. Okay.
They're all that way. Oh, okay,
Pretty
cool.
cool.
I guess it is pretty cool. All right, well, regardless. So, yeah, this is the red band version. I footed the extra dollar for each of these for red band. Um, but really, I was kind of disappointed with the red band, to be honest, because it really wasn't all that different. It was a lot of the same, like similar images, bar like a few scenes where like would like do the end of issue one, for example. Like it's
Right.
not really a spoiler anymore because this has been out for months. But like this page, this is the final page of issue one
Right. And
in
I'll show you
red
on
band.
this.
Yeah, and that one, it's just he stabs him through the chest. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the difference between the
Yeah,
red.
well, let me put it back up. We'll have it up side by side.
Yeah, wow.
See, like other than like a few scenes, but like the scenes where it's the people like where it's like them taking over the cities,
Yeah.
it's those are pretty much the same.
Oh,
Like go to go to the page with Milan and Lagos in Canada. It's like it's on the other side of the key players page. It's like one of the first few pages in.
oh, okay.
What does yours look like?
Let me see. Right after the key players.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's like 5 pages in, maybe. It's after the 2 page Blood Hunt one. Are you still on the first issue?
Yeah, like this one.
Yeah. So like pull like pick it up a little bit, lift it up, raise it up a little bit. You see how he has the body?
Yeah. Oh wow.
See, like other than like it being more like a little bit more gory,
Yeah.
like it's not a huge difference. So like
Right.
I guess that was like I maybe that's my fault for like expecting more. But I also like with the creative team, like with it being La Raza, I was like, maybe we'll see like a lot of cool stuff and it'll be worth the extra money, you know?
Right.
But other than like just to say that I now own them with the like explicit content, I don't know. It was cool. I think it's a cool thing. I enjoyed the event. I thought it was interesting. I think the only reason I enjoyed it as much as I did is because I've been reading most of Jed McKay's stuff.
Right. Because I was about to say this is kind of like a culmination of like three different.
Yeah, because like some of it was set up in Avengers because it was like one of the tribulation events with being the Endless Night. It's also like the it was set up in Moon Knight, it was set up in Blade, it was set up in Doctor Strange. Like there
Right.
were all pieces of it that were all set up in like in adjacent series to it. So
Right.
it was good. I I feel like coming off of the last major Marvel event, which was what Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, would it be
Yeah.
Judgment Day? Yeah, I Judgment Day clears this, bro. Like far and away. I just Judgment Day was so good. Like
Yeah.
I don't want I don't want to take away from this event because I do think it was quite good, and I do like the Doom stuff in it. I thought that was interesting. I think I got the most enjoyment out of the tie-ins.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Even the Hulk tie-in, I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting to enjoy as much as I did. So I was like, wow, this is actually really good.
Well, I think that's what I really love about the way Hulk and Fantastic Four handled that, where it was more or less like we're not going to roll them into the story, but we're using the setting to
Right,
continue their story, right?
right.
So it's like Hulk is still traveling, pretty much he's what is he on his way to Vegas? He's on his way to Vegas
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. He's trying to help Charlie.
Right. And so this is kind of just like you don't need this issue, but if you just want to see this little
I
gap, this little trip that he's taking while the blood
right.
hunt sky is dark on him and vampires are coming after him.
And I don't know if it's just me, but like I mean we read a lot of the same titles, like especially like from the big two, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm getting more enjoyment out of these like one and done issues lately from Marvel than I am like a lot of the sequential stories. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would almost be okay with like every title, like even Doctor Strange now, because that's kind of like over. Yeah, like even if that was just like in the same fashion as Fantastic Four and it was just episodic,
Right.
you know, like and hell man, like even Hulk kind of feels that way, but it's like a couple of like issues, you know,
Right.
but it's all got a larger narrative. But I
Hulk's
with
very monster of the week,
yeah,
I feel like.
yeah, with the Hulk Blood Hunt and the Fantastic Four issues, like just and we would even with Blood Hunt, like for those, but like just in general, like I don't know, like I'm finding that stuff more enjoyable lately.
Yeah.
Like I can just be in and out and not have to like commit to it
Right.
almost.
Right.
So, but what do you think about Miles being a vampire?
I think it's cool if they actually utilize it and build with it, you
I
know?
I want to say that the I think it's Cody Ziegler who writes it, who writes the Miles book right now.
Right, yeah.
I want to say he said something about how it would be a big part of the next arc or so.
Right, because I think he's training with Blade now. So
Yeah, and I he asked basically I want to say that a part of this arc is going to be him like having to confront his family.
as a vampire?
Yeah, and like how he's going to have to make adjustments. But I mean, okay, and that's like a new status quo for vampires in the Marvel universe is they can all be in the daylight now.
Right. I didn't really understand the
Yeah,
explanation.
I was
Like it was
yeah,
pretty
I
much
wasn't
just like you do something for the earth and it owes you a debt. So it's like the earth
yeah.
decides if you're hurt by the sun or not. I don't understand, but
Which I mean, I guess kind of plays into like the larger like cosmology of things because Varney is a really old, like an older god, I guess. So like if you were to play if that's what they were playing into, which they mean them, McKay might have been, it could have been something like, what's the what in the Marvel universe, what else is known as Earth, Gaia.
right.
So like if you're already playing with some higher echelon characters, then I think it's easy to assume that it could be like, you know, the primordial Earth is like, hey, you did us a solid, you got rid of this bastard, and here, all
Yeah,
you fires can be in the daylight now.
I guess. I guess. But
It is interesting because we'll see what happens like with the Midnight Mission and all that stuff, I guess, because that was like you know what I mean? Like as far as I understood it, a lot of that, the early parts of that run were vampire stuff.
right.
So
I how do you feel about because pretty much we'll just try to recap it, summarize it. But basically more or less, what is it? The dark force? The dark
yeah,
the
yeah,
dark force basically is overtaken the skies, more or less, casted it an eternal night. And with this, what were they called? Like like
the Blood Coven.
the blood coven. Okay, yeah. I
So
always
this,
get them mixed up because I was like, oh, they look like freaking Thanos' children or something. But
I'll give Jed McKay this. That dude can create some killer ass villains, dude.
yeah, really.
Like like the three mothers in Death of Doctor Strange, banger designs, bro. Like so good.
Well, it
And
helps when you have Pepe Larraz
dude,
doing.
yeah, I mean, and just in general, like yeah, that was Lee Garbett who did that with him. Like, and Lee Garbett does a lot of good work. He did the art for Strange after that.
Right.
I mean, and then you have he did the Twilight Court. They're hella cool. Who else?
That's true.
Who else? Oh,
Uh,
and then these people, the Blood Coven. They're
yeah.
hella sick.
I don't know. Just I don't know why, but it just reminded me of like Hickman's like Thanos.
Yeah, like when the Black Order showed
Yeah,
up
the
and stuff.
Black Order, pretty much.
Yeah,
But
that's
so pretty much the Dark Force has plunged Earth into night. The Blood Coven has come out. Blade basically tricks Doctor Strange, kills Doctor Strange because we find out that he's possessed by Varney. And basically, we find pretty much all these things happen. The Avengers are pretty much trying to undo the Eternal Night, and we find out that the only savior for this is Doctor Doom himself
well,
and
and Brielle.
Brielle. Yeah. But how do you feel about the idea of what Strange said that Doom orchestrated all of this to get the result
I
of
could see it.
Sorcerer Supreme?
I could see that being the case. I I don't know. We'll see what happens.
If Doom let the world get plunged into eternal night just for him to get the Sorcerer Supreme power.
If he knew he could, if he was 100% certain that he could save it, yes.
Yeah.
If yeah, like and that's such a I don't. It's such like a doom. It's like such a doom concept to be
It is.
like I'm gonna let this happen or like like tip the scales a little bit so this happens because I know I can fix it. I know I'm the only one that can, and I can trick the guy into who has what I want, which is what I need to save the world. Like it's such a doom thing to be like, gotcha.
Yeah. Like I found out a way
So
to take this power. I found out a way. I've
yeah,
done it.
and like this has been kind of like a long time coming. because like even at the beginning of this run, when Strange was dead, Doom was like, "I'm here to claim my spot as
I was
sorcerer."
runner up. I was runner up, man. It's like
Yes, yes. So in Clea's short run as Sorcerer Supreme, he comes knocking hella early on. And he's like, who? He's like, I know who you are. He's like, but you're wearing my cape and you're in my like basically you're in my house.
right,
And Doom is like, you need to get the hell out or like it's go time. But I mean, obviously things happen, and then he realizes that it was like done, like basically Steven like bound part of his soul and did like a blood thing and did some deep magic to where it was like it was transferred into Clea where it could bypass that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
right, right.
So yeah, it was this has been a long time coming for him to become Sorcerer Supreme. I I wish it wasn't just like the last two issues.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I wish it had been built up a little bit more.
right,
But like because for people that hadn't been following McKay stuff, you may not have known that this has been like an ongoing thing between the two of them.
right,
There's a lot of history between them anyway because of Secret Wars and
right.
like
Torment, like
yeah, like they just have a really like rich history
right.
and
And
it's
that's what I
it'll
was
be
gonna say is like it feels like Jed McKay is tapping into that Triumph and Torment dynamic and the dynamic like Secret Wars that they had, where
yeah, yeah.
like
Right.
I find I love their friendship so much because even if it's on site and it's beef, like the way they treat each other with such honor and
Yeah.
respect,
It's kind
like
of like his relate like Doom's relationship with Tony in
yeah,
some way
yeah,
because like but it's like it's the opposite end of that because you have like Doom and Strange and their like connection with magic, but then you have Tony and Victor over
like
here basically
science,
yeah, because of science and technology and they like clash.
right?
So like it's cool to see him like interact and they like it's like equal amounts of respect on both sides almost, you know what I mean? Like they
Yeah,
understand it's like yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit, but like
and
yeah, like
I
respect
think
his
it's
game,
all
you know what I mean?
yeah, and I think it's also like a thing of like Strange having this like hope, this like naive hope that like Victor won't be Victor. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like he does that every time. We saw that in Secret Wars when he gave him the God Emperor power. When he said, "I
yeah,
can't handle this power, go ahead and take it." And
right.
we're seeing it now with the whole Sorcerer Supreme thing because Doom is a man of his word. He just didn't give a time specification on this word he gave.
Right. And again, that's such like a
Doom
Doom.
thing to do.
Right. He's like, yeah, he's like, of course I'll give it back when I save the world. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
You know? And then he might have stopped this world-ending event, but to him, the world's not saved yet. Like he
No.
has work to do.
Yeah.
So it's cool, man. I haven't read this week's Doctor Strange yet,
Okay.
so I don't know how Steven is getting his body back yet. So
Well, I'm gonna
like,
be going back and getting the trades now. Now that
yeah,
this is
it's
all
so good, bro. Like it's and I did like a pretty big Doctor Strange binge last year, or no, 2 years ago.
mm-hmm.
And I read Aaron's Doctor Strange, which was pretty good. I read Donny Cates' Doctor Strange, which was okay. I liked the Loki bit of being Sorcerer Supreme. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was.
I also read The Oath, which is a banger book, bro.
Yeah.
If you've never read that,
Classic.
read.
Classic.
Oh yeah, so good. Uh, and then I read Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme, which is can't remember who the writer is, but it's Javier Rodriguez on art.
Okay.
So it's dude, it's ace, bro. It's so good. It's just 12 issues of like different sorcerers, like from the different time periods in the universe. It's fucking sick.
Okay.
It's hella cool. Like Isaac Newton is a wizard, is like a is a
Oh,
magic
that's
user.
cool.
It's tight, bro. It's sick. And Merlin's in it, and then you have like Billy Kaplan because he's the demiurge in the future.
Yeah.
You have that version of him pulled into the past, like and with Doctor Strange and the president who doesn't have any magic. It's tight. what else? Oh, and then I had finished that big binge with Triumph and Torment,
Oh yeah.
and then it was like right around then when I think I had just started reading. I want to say McKay's Strand had just started around that time.
Hmm.
So and then I've been enjoying that, like whatever, I think like that, and when Doctor Strange the movie like two was coming out, like that's what kind of like spurred it.
Right.
I read a lot of that, and then Fall Sunrise came out, and that is.
Oh yeah.
Have you read that?
I have the first issue of it, but I didn't end up getting into the rest of it.
Do
No.
you want? I have the rest of it if you want to borrow it.
Okay. How was it? It was pretty good.
Banger, dude. The art gets so much more ridiculous as the series goes on, and it like at some points you're like, I don't know, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's still cool.
Yeah.
Like
See,
it's just such a.
my problem with Strange is I love his relationships. I love his personality. I love his character. I just hate that they use him for every MacGuffin.
There,
Every
I think
MacGuffin
Fall
is
Sunrise is probably like the perfect book for you because it's literally it's so far removed from the rest of the Marvel universe. It's like its own it's its own thing. Like it has no connection. If I remember right, Doctor Strange is literally the only Marvel character from like the Marvel universe that isn't an original character in that book.
okay.
So it's just like if I'm not mistaken, it's like this god from a different dimension is pregnant and it has to give birth, and it comes to Doctor Strange to give, to birth the baby. But like he has to do some, funky magic and go inside this different dimension, and then there's these like giant beings and like castles and magic, and it's a trip, bro.
That's pretty cool.
It's really good. That's just really good.
Yeah, because it's just like I think about it and it's like even recently, like like the Hulk series, you have him making space Hulk, whatever,
Yeah.
astronaut Hulk. You have you know what I mean? It just
And
seems like
Punisher
Punisher.
is
Yeah.
in Captain
It's
America.
right. It's like literally
At least in Captain America, he wasn't like the fix it guy. He was like, here, you could fix it, but I'll help you.
no, I like the way JMS did that, where he was like, "Hey, I'm in a doll. You take the doll,
It's
and
like,
like
why is there a half-eaten like granola bar in here?
yeah,
Classic, bro.
yeah. It's
Classic.
I love that. That was pretty good. But
That's like a modern classic like panel right there. Like
yeah,
if like that's just it was so funny when I read that for the first time. I was like, that's too funny.
yeah. JMS is having way too much fun with that.
Pretty
But
good.
I don't know. I would like it if Strange wasn't the MacGuffin for everything in Marvel.
Well, and he's definitely not gonna be right now.
No, no. And I don't see Doom going around doing everybody favors either.
Oh hell no.
So
Okay, this will be interesting because now that he's not that, how are certain writers or like people that have like kind of wanted to use him, like what are they going to do now? You
right.
know, like, or what's next for Steven? I guess I need to read 18 to find out, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Just seems like that's like McKay's thing right now. He's killed Doctor Strange like twice now. He's killed
Yeah,
Moon
yeah, he's killed Moon Knight, killed Doctor Strange twice.
Knight.
I'm surprised he hasn't killed any Avengers yet.
No, I know.
You know,
I don't know. It just seems kind of funny that Jed McKay is kind of doing that. Or it's just this person's
it's,
dead, and now they're back. Now we're gonna
yeah,
replace him with this person, and
it's
we're
almost
back.
like he's poking fun at like death in comics. I don't give a shit. I'll just kill him and bring him back anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one thing I kind of got a kick out of. Like I haven't been reading Moon Knight since like I probably read like the first three or four issues. But like in issue four, when Mark comes back like just out of the blue, I was
Yeah.
like, shit. I was like, all right, that's actually kind of cool. I was like,
Because
that's
what
actually
was it before? Like, wasn't somebody pretty much like filling in while?
damn it. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, it was like somebody else.
Okay.
The
Or
Shroud,
wasn't
maybe.
like Khonshu himself like Ultimates or anything like that?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean there's old dude like oh, see, now I'm going off on a tangent, bro, because I
Yeah.
rolled from Black Panther yesterday. That shit was fire.
Oh, Ultimate Black Panther. Yeah.
It's good, bro. It was so
Oh,
good.
I'm
I was like,
loving
oh,
that. Like that has been one of the most consistent. Like every time I read it, I'm like, oh my god, like the
like
steak.
it's so like I feel like we're getting off on a tangent.
Yeah,
But like just real quick with Ultimate Black Panther, like it's not as I don't like it as much as Ultimate Spider-Man, but I think it has like as much potential to
right.
be like this is the most interesting I feel like Wakanda and the Black Panther have been in a while because like there was the John Ridley run which was like okay, people didn't really care for it too much. And then you had the who was on it before that? Was it Ta-Nehisi Coates?
Yeah.
There was like the Galactic Empire, like there was all that stuff, and I didn't read any of that, but I also read like the run right before this, the e-viewing run, and that one was pretty good. That one wasn't too bad,
Okay.
but it was short. It was 10 issues, and it got canned.
Right.
So like Ultimate Black Panther, it being like what will probably be a pretty long-term title, it's good, bro.
Mhm.
It's pretty good. Like it's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for that corner of the Ultimate Universe, like
Yeah.
doing the world building and stuff. Like it's doing like developments for vibranium, giving it like an opposite. Like it's doing a lot of cool shit, dude.
And that art is really good too.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know, that,
Stefano Caselli is is
yeah.
is good, man.
Yeah, every time I open that, it's a treat.
So like the ending bit of this week's issue.
Maybe we'll do next week. We'll do a Ultimate Black Panther, then we'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
we could do that. Catch up on that. I'm down.
Dude, it's yeah. Because
It
I
was
mean,
good.
huh?
It was just good. It's good.
Yeah. I
Shit.
mean, do we because Ultimate Black Panther has so much going for it. We have the mystery of who's like the mole. Is it
Yeah.
like who's the backstabber? Is it like Okoye? Is it Shuri? Is it
Anybody. Yeah, it could be
yeah?
anybody.
You have Killmonger in the mix with Storm and that whole thing, and then this
Right.
whole
And
prophecy.
you know for sure like there's gonna be like a bit of a love triangle.
Right.
Here's what I think the obvious thing is, and I think the obvious thing is there Okoye is the mole, and this may not happen, but this is kind of like, and maybe this is like this is the red herring, like this is like what they're. Then there's gonna be the bait and switch later on, but like
Right.
Okoye is the mole. It they have a falling. She has a falling out with T'Challa. He gets closer with Storm. Eric gets kind of jealous. It's gonna push them like break their alliance up. He's gonna go back to more classic Killmonger. But like and we said this with Spider-Man too. Like we knew that there was gonna be something that was gonna kind of wedge Peter and Harry.
Yeah.
And we had that oh no moment this last issue last week. And
So much is happening in the Ultimate Universe. I'm stoked.
dude, so much is just happening at Marvel right now.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny because like when they did all the announcements for Comic-Con, like for DC, I was like, man, there's a lot happening for DC right now. But now that we're talking about Marvel and like them setting up the Doom stuff, for later on this year and next year, and then the Ultimate Universe, and as much as I don't like it, the connectivity to the MCU, like both companies are doing a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah.
I I like some of it and I dislike some of it. Like I dislike the part where I'm having to read a lot more because it's breaking my wallet, bro.
Yeah, dude. For
I
sure.
don't like that much. I also don't like how expensive comics are getting. But
Every single one of them is 4.99 or 5.99 now. Every
I
single one.
want to say October is when some books are gonna go drop back down to 3.99
Thank God.
At Marvel at least.
Yeah. Thank God.
DC, I don't know what the hell's going like, maybe with them going back to the classic bullet and then trying to nostalgia bait us, maybe they'll go back to the 2.99 and they'll draw the line there.
We could hope.
Yeah, that'll never
Days.
happen.
The new
I mean,
52 days, man. When
the
you're
dude, the yeah,
99.
the only and even early rebirth, and they even said it, bro. Like, we'll never raise the price. We draw the line at 2.99.
And then the
Uh,
pandemic happened, and then paper went up, and
dude, yeah, it's like you're just moving the goalpost, man. Like,
because even then, like the quality of we were talking about it yesterday, the quality of the trades, the quality of it's It's at a point where it's like yeah, it's cheap. I can get it, but it's like, I am I really
It's
enjoying it when I read
and
it?
okay, like this, and this is kind of like a good segue, I guess. Let me. I have one more thought about like Blood Hunt before we move on.
For sure.
Um, I think as a whole, it's a pretty good event. I just don't like the fact that it seems like it's going to lead into another event
Yeah.
because that's kind of what been the DC shtick for the last year, 2 years or so. So I don't like that. I I don't know. I feel like the meat of this event was in the tie-ins. Like the Avengers tie-ins were good. It does
Yeah.
not follow like the core team in Jed McKay's Avengers book is not in the Avengers book because it's Steve Rogers, Captain America, and
Right.
his like impromptu team because the
Because
main
his Avengers are in Blood Hunt.
yeah, the main
Yeah.
Avengers are
Yeah.
in the main book, which is good, and it gives other characters him to write a chance to write other characters and give other characters a chance to shine.
Right.
Um, I am loving the Hercules love though recently, last
That
couple months.
yeah.
Good
Even
shit.
with Thor, Thor got Hercules in it too, and
Next
getting
issue also, man, in
yeah,
14 and in giant size, and he was in last week's issue. It's banging, dude.
yeah, man.
Love Hercules stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so like I don't know. I feel like if you don't read like the Jed, at least the Jed McKay tie-ins, you're missing out.
Right.
Like if you're not reading the Avengers tie-ins, and if you're not reading the Doctor Strange, or like I skipped the Moon Knight stuff because I haven't read any of it, so I probably wouldn't know what to do with it.
Right.
But like I read if you're reading other Jed McKay books, read those tie-ins because it just makes the event better, is all.
Right.
Because otherwise it's just kind of like summer blockbuster. It really just feels like a by the books Marvel event with really cool art and and some pretty good writing
Yeah.
and some gore. But like for all intents and purposes, like it's just a basic event. It's good, but you really need to read some of the tie-in stuff to get more out of it.
Right.
But yeah, segue from what we were saying earlier. It's interesting that like I love a lot of the content coming out from these companies, but their practices just piss me off. Like
100%.
it's like it's frustrating because I the creators are great. So like I spend too much time, money, you know, brain power on comic books to be like, oh, like like constantly frustrated about it. Like I just I and maybe this is just me like not understanding and not like knowing behind the scenes stuff there, but like how hard is it to just get some decent paper like consistently? Like,
100%.
like I'm finding a lot of my covers recently with Marvel are smudging.
Yeah, dude. I've noticed that too.
So like at
Or
what
it's not
point do
even
I
smudging where on like the bag and board, like you could see like the color like
I
rub
mean
off
like
on it.
on the actual books. Like there are
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 of them where I've smudged the cover because
Yeah.
I've been holding it too long and
Yep.
my fingers are too greasy.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that happening with books that were coming out 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Well, what I'm noticing though is like pretty much like I'm noticing whenever you put like the issue back in the bag, like
Yeah.
there will be some color right here that like rubbed off and it's
Yeah.
on the bag.
And it's
Like,
happening like yeah, it happens a lot, like I feel like.
yeah.
So
Because it's at a point now where I have to keep the book like not hold it. Like I have to keep it like on
like on a
something.
table. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been having yeah, like literally like last night I started reading like this week's books. I was like literally just sitting on the couch and I had the bag and board like sitting on the armrest next to me and then I had the book on top of that because I didn't want to keep holding it.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot some of these covers that ones that have darker ink or even the ones that have like the negative space variants because they have so much of one color. Like the Miles one that I got for Ultimate Invasion, it just bled. Like it bled right
Right.
into the costume. So I ended up getting a new one. But like it's just like if comics are getting too expensive for it to not be like the best quality that's like realistically affordable for the company. Like
Right.
I'm not sitting here asking like for the nicest pages of all time, like and all the best covers. Like just like put in a little bit more effort. Like and then I probably won't mind paying a little like as much as I do, but like it's not worth the price because most books, like you said, are $5. Hell, most books, half the books now are six, seven, eight, nine, $10.
Yep.
So it's like here, let's just go over the next couple of weeks. Like from Marvel alone, we'll go for all of August. Like this week alone, there's one, two, three books that are 5.99. There are more books that are $5 and $6 than there are that are like 3.99 books now
Right.
for this week. Next week, there is no books that are okay. This is a first, I think, in a while. The week of August 14th has no books that are over 4.99.
Hey.
Actually, scratched at reprints for X-Men, but those are reprints. I don't really count those.
I
Um,
wish that they would do is keep that terrible paper quality to enhance like your throwback. You're right, like your throwback books, like your like that anything JMD Mateus is doing. Like keep that kind of older quality to like go back to those 90s stories that he's tapping back into.
yeah,
Like be
like,
creative with it. Like you
well,
can
right, and like, I don't know, like, and it almost seems like you could get away with just using like the cheap paper that they do, and these throwback books that realistically, how much are they really selling?
right.
Like how many people are really buying X-Men Days of Future Past Doomsday four-part miniseries, in
No.
2024? Like the old heads are for sure. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? People that were like reading X-Men back then are definitely gonna be buying that. But that's not a lot of people.
Right.
So it's like you could probably throw a 2.99 price tag on those books
It
and they would probably sell more then.
right.
You
It's
can
even
view
getting
make
to a
up
point
that
where I'm seeing
cost.
kids comics are not 2.99 anymore too.
Dude,
Like
and
there are
okay, thank you. The only one that's the other crazy part, man, is like you look on the shelves, like the only 2.99 kids books now are Scooby-Doo and Looney Tunes and Batman and Scooby-Doo.
right.
The Sonic is 3.99 and they've got like a monthly one shot, it seems like that's five or six, $7.
Powerpuff Girls was 4.99.
Right, exactly. And it's gonna be 4.99 because it's a $5. It's Dynamite's been doing all of their books 4.99, all of those licensed books.
Yep.
Um, what else? You've got like My Little Pony,
Yep.
same thing. Like those books are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 sometimes. Like it's weird that they're almost pricing children out before they even get a chance to get started,
100%.
Like I want my kid
Got
to
less than
appreciate.
a minute here.
I just want my kid, final note, I would like my kid to appreciate comics the way that we do, but not also like it be like so damn expensive that it's unmanageable. Just the
All right,
future
guys.
comics needs to be good. Later.
Later on, guys. Sorry about that. Deuces out, guys.